Gentlemen, observe. Here we see your boringly commonplace fop.
As far as I can see, George, he ain't much to look at.
Exactly. Like a peacock, vanity his weakness for all the world to see. But the dandy stands feet square, 1 foot slight in advance of the other. Bent at the knees, but not too much. Back lengthening, broadening. Head up, chin out. Look straight ahead and forward. Gentlemen, I give you the dandy.
You are my little cousin Cecily, I'm sure.
You are under some strange mistake. I'm not little. In fact, I believe I'm more than usually tall for my age. But I am your cousin Cecily. And you, I see from your card, are Uncle Jack's brother, my cousin Ernest. My wicked cousin Ernest.
I'm not really wicked at all, cousin Cecily. You mustn't think that I'm wicked.
Well, if you are not, then you've certainly been deceiving us all in a very inexcusable manner.
Well, I have been rather reckless.
I'm glad to hear it.
In fact, now that you mention the subject, I have been very bad in my own small way.
Well, I don't think you should be so proud of that, though I am sure it must have been very pleasant.
It's much pleasanter being here with you.
I can't understand how you're here at all. Uncle Jack won't be back till Monday afternoon.
Oh, that is a great disappointment. I'm obliged to go up with the first train on Monday morning. I have a business appointment that I'm anxious to miss.
You got my second buttonhole, Phipps?
Yes, my lord.
It's rather a distinguished thing, Phipps. I'm the only person in London at present of the smallest importance who wears a buttonhole.
Yes, my lord. I have observed that.
You see, Phipps, fashion is what one wears oneself. What is unfashionable is what other people wear.
Yes, my lord.
Other people are quite dreadful, Phipps. The only possible society is oneself.
Yes, my lord.
To be in love with oneself, Phipps, is the beginning of a lifelong romance.
Yes, my lord.
Allow me to introduce my dearest friend, the idlest man in London.
Good evening, Lord Goring.
I remember when I first came to London.
You have the only two things worth having. Looks and youth.
So what are you doing here? Wasting your time, as usual?
When one pays a visit, it is for the purpose of wasting other people's time and not one's own.
Good afternoon, Arthur. Hello, Robert. I hope you're in good form. Well, I hope I don't disappoint you. Excuse me, Margaret.
Certainly.
I want to apologize, Lady Windermere.
Now, what have you done?
I told you the other evening that even you could never look more beautiful. Now that I see you today, I find I was wrong.
I wonder why a man thinks he's pleasing a woman when he says things to her he doesn't mean.
But I do mean them.
I hope not. I like you very much, you know that. But I shouldn't like you if I thought you were what most other men are. Believe me, you're better than most, and I sometimes think you pretend to be worse.
If you pretend to be good, the world takes you seriously. If you pretend to be bad, it doesn't.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Sweet of you to say so.
You read it so well, Oscar. Even better than I... They loved it. They absolutely loved it.
And I did, boy. Love you.
Congratulations, Oscar.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Hello.
Mr. Wilde. Wonderful, really wonderful.
Oscar.
Sphinx.
You really must be careful. You're in grave danger of becoming rich.
It was wonderful, as I knew it would be.
Thank you, Robbie.
Everyone's dying to know who the real Lady Windermere is.
Real Lady Windermere is every woman in this room, and most of the men.
Oscar.
Lionel.
It's a wonderful play. My cousin, Lord Alfred Douglas, is here. He would very much like to congratulate you.
Well, sir, what are you doing here? Wasting your life as usual? Can't make out how you put up with London society. This whole thing's gone to the dogs. A lot of nobodies talking about nothing.
Oh, I love talking about nothing, Father. It's the only thing I know anything about.
I certainly can't see you and Gwendolyn being married.
Why on earth do you say that?
Well, in the first place, I don't give my consent.
Your consent?
My dear fellow, Gwendolyn is my cousin. And before I allow you to marry her, You shall have to clear up this whole question of Cecily.
Cecily? What on earth do you mean? What do you mean, Algy, by Cecily? I don't know anyone by the name of Cecily. Do you mean to say you have had my cigarette case all this time? I wish to goodness you had let me know. I've been writing frantic letters to Scotland Yard about it. I was very nearly offering a very large reward.
I wish you would offer one. I happen to be more than usually hard up.
Good night, Lady Chief.
Good night.
My dear Arthur, you're not leaving. Do stop a little. I want to talk to you. I'm afraid I can't, thanks. I promised I'd pop into the Heartlocks on the way home. I believe they have got a Mauve Hungarian band that plays Mauve Hungarian music. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
This day on, we shall be the body dandiacal.
You should go into politics, George.
Politics, sir, dresses self-interest up to look well in the public good, whilst I merely dress myself up to look good in public.
When I am king, George, you should be the Prime Minister of Fashion.
And he'll bankrupt the whole country.
The dandy is a portrait of studied carelessness, but without the appearance of study. The dandy style, less is more. No wigs, no powder, we don't use scent. The dandy wears trousers. The dandy, washes. The dandy is clean, the dandy is neat. The dandy does what he wants, when he wants, where he wants.
Well, I got the most extraordinary experience. I said, not everybody has that sort of experience. Something to do with the sun and all that. I wouldn't understand myself, really. You know, quite for no reason, I'm here for the season and high as a kite, living in error with Maud at Cap Ferrer, which couldn't be right. You know, everyone's here frightfully gay. You know, nobody cares what people say. Now, though the Riviera is really much queerer than Rome at its height, on Wednesday night I went to a marvellous party with Nunu and Nada and Nell. You know, it was in the fresh air, and we went as we were. And we stayed as we were, which was hell.
Do you ever bother to read all these great interpretations about your work?
Can I just answer?
Yes, you can. Back in 1962, or 61 or 62, around in then, when you and Rosenquist and Lichtenstein all were working very independently of each other, but evolving a same kind of attitude. Does that seem odd to you, that you all began to look at the world in the same way?
I think we just read a lot of comic books, and it just happened to come out then.
Well,
because comic books make things the way they are really today. I mean, the way things happen in New York now, it's like being in a Western movie.
I first started coming to Paris as well, if we go back historically, I was conceived in Paris. I'm Hamish Bowles, International Editor-at-Large for Vogue magazine. I travel the world seeking out the most singular pieces to add to my couture collection, a collection which I've spent nearly a lifetime assembling. If it's out there, I'll find it on Vintage Bowles.
Nous sommes à Saint-Germain, quartier du dandysme par excellence. Ce jeune homme à l'élégance renversante s'appelle Ludovic. À 28 ans, il ne sort jamais sans sa canne, son chapeau haute forme et sa queue de pie, un look de dandy venu d'un autre siècle qui attise les regards et séduit la gente féminine.
Je vous remercie, chère madame.
I think sexy's just being comfortable with yourself.
Shame's not sexy. Shame should not exist.
People are always going to try and change you and make you conform, and you are the most interesting thing about yourself.
I think it's fun to know what's important. Who loves you, what you love, who you love.
I'm not going to change for anyone. Because
it's a cruel, cruel world, all you little boys and girls, and some mean, nasty people want to have you for their supper. But if you follow me, you can all be free, free. You can all be free. As a bird on a big TV, if you dream, if you dream, if you dream.
Last show,
I'm going on my holidays next week. Yeah, off to Greece. Oh, looking forward to strolling among the ruins. Oh, there they are making more. Greece, not in a good way. Not in a good way. 2,000 years ago, they gave us the Acropolis, the Elgin marbles. Now, all they're giving us this. It's our last show of the series, and we've got a bit of a lads' night for you.
I must admit, I've always liked to dress nice. I've always liked to wear suits. Actually, my middle son Romeo is exactly the same as I was when I was his age. I was page boy actually for a friend's wedding, and they turned around to me and said, "What would you like to wear? Would you like to wear this suit or these knickerbockers with white socks and like ballerina slippers?" I chose that. So I've always liked clothes, and you know.
Not afraid to be a little bit adventurous.
No, as you can tell.
I'm just thinking sarong. Actually, that just.
I quite like the sarong personally.
Aristocrats, distinguished dogs, clean up your act, pull up your pants. Ladies and gents, please act like you got some sense. You know what I really want to know? Where do all the good girls go?